Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maria. Welcome to another amazing episode. Today we have an amazing guest with us, Josh Cliffords. So we welcome him in our show. Today our guest is very amazing and he is founder and visionary behind Free Water, world's first free beverage company based in Austin, Texas, United States. Josh Clifford is groundbreaking social entrepreneur and redefining how world thinks about businesses, advertising. So without wasting time, let's welcome our guest and explore his journey. Hello Josh, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, Maria. Thanks for having me on your show today.
I would like to request please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Josh Cliffords. I'm the founder of Free Water. Free Water is the world's first free beverage company, and our water's free because the packaging is the ad space. But it's actually better than free. It's free, and every water donates to charity too. And my long-term goal has always been free supermarkets worldwide. And I've been helping other people with their free water projects, such as the Free Pani team in Pakistan. I was in Pakistan earlier this year helping them.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us, please? Could you please tell us what was the moment that inspired you to make water free?
Um, about 10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit organization to help refugees in Europe. And about 20% of the refugees said they left their country because they didn't have water or food. So I wanted to create an out of the box solution that made donating to charity as simple as saving money because a lot of people want to donate, but they don't have enough money to donate. And now all you have to do is take the free item and we donate for you.
That's amazing idea behind this. How did idea of turning packing into ad space first come to you?
It wasn't easy. It took many years to think things through and to reinvent these new industries. A lot of failing over and over and over again. And eventually it worked out.
Many people think that profit and purpose can't coexist. What's your view on it?
I think that they're wrong. And I also believe that they're not trying hard enough. And so, if done correctly, the most purposeful projects are also the most profitable projects. An example is we're currently designing new types of bidding algorithms for the back end of this packaging to work like Facebook and Google. So, in theory, one day you could even earn $1,000 from a free bottle of water or a free bag of rice that donates to charity. And so, but I would like all of that money to go to the charity too. However, somebody could do the same thing and they could pay themselves a lot of money. And so, yeah, I think that if you really care, you can create something that's more profitable and helps more people than and the environment.
How do you define success behind business, humanity, and impact?
For me, my goals go beyond business. My goal is to one day walk down the street in any country and at least half of the stores are free. It doesn't have to be my store, it could be anybody's store. So it's a very long term goal. For me, the project's not about making money. For me, the project's about helping people and to prove that companies can do more.
Yes, I totally agree with you. If water can be free, what other products do you dream of making free next?
I was recently in Pakistan, and the same business model will work for every single product sold at your local supermarket. So fruits, vegetables, rice, beans, soap, shampoos, conditioners, gasoline, electricity, clothing, iPhones. The same business model works for almost every industry. Everything that's not a luxury car or a Rolex watch, it works for everything else.
How do you convince brands to advertise on water bottles instead of online?
It was very difficult at first, but I used social media to create a big audience. We have more than 1 million followers. And so the advertiser sees one of our videos and then they contact us. But now we're helping many people do the same thing in many countries around the world. And they all have a different approach. For example, one team in Austria, they they don't use any social media. They just call and email the potential advertisers and make the sale. And so I think you have to leverage uh, your skill sets and some people will be more comfortable through social media. Some people will be more comfortable through email marketing or phone calls. It really depends.
How scalable is the model to develop countries like Pakistan, Africa?
I think it's easier to make free products in a country like Pakistan because there's less red tape. And what I mean by that is when I was watching and helping the Free Pawnee team, they were able to make miracles happen because the rules are different. In the United States, there's so much more regulation, and it costs so much more money to have workers to help you that everything is just more expensive, more of a headache, more of a hassle. And I also find that people in Pakistan cherish the free water more than in the United States because, regardless of how wealthy you are in Pakistan, most people drink bottled water. And so people in Pakistan really enjoy it more, I think, than in the United States. And yeah, it's easier to make
How's your
business in your country than mine.
How's your visit in Pakistan? What did you learn from it?
It was wonderful. The Free Pawnee team is in Lahore, so I spent most of the time in Lahore, but we drove to Islamabad and we drove around different parts of the country. Everybody in Pakistan was so nice, and the food was amazing. I loved the food. I ate so much food. I got really fat, and um, it was a really amazing experience, and I can't wait to come back again and visit again one day.
And thank you so much. We must again welcome you and we will meet you whenever you come in Pakistan again. What kind of technology or data analytics do you use in your operations?
Um, in the early days, no technologies other than the advertisement being here and a QR code that you could connect to the internet. Now we're putting more technologies behind the QR code. However, you see how this is a label. In the future, you're going to walk up to the free vending machine and it's going to print this label with the right advertisement just for you, put it on the bottle, and give it to you. And there's a lot of technology behind that. Also, one day to send the free water and the free food to your house for free. There's a lot of new technologies in that too. Um, but everything we do is open source, which is the opposite of patents. So we want everybody in the world to copy. which is why we made a book, and many books are already being sold in Pakistan. So I can't wait to see the type of projects people come up with in the near future.
It's an amazing idea and project, and I think it creates a huge positive impact all over the world. How do you measure your impact in both social and environmental terms?
So we started in the United States with aluminum bottles and paper cartons. We're not using glass. We're not using plastic bottles. Um, Long term, when we have more funding, this will all be reusable glass. Um, we predict that free supermarkets will cut global food waste by about 50% because the current supply chain is very long and there's a lot of unnecessary stops. And we're going to remove 90% of these unnecessary stops and give people the food before it goes bad. For example, in America and in Pakistan, let's say you make a candy bar company. You buy a bunch of these candy bars and you fill a warehouse with the candy bars. You spend a bunch of money on advertising and you hope that you sell all the candy bars. And if you don't sell all the candy bars, they go bad and they get thrown in the trash can. But if this was an advertisement on a free water or candy bar just for you, it has no purpose sitting in a warehouse because this is just for you. So in the future, you make it and we send it directly to your home. And now you have the full 2 years. Most products last 2 years before they go bad with the product. And that's much different than, let's say, you go to your local store and you buy a bottle of Aquafina. That bottle of Aquafina probably sat in a warehouse for 1 year or even 1.5 years. So you maybe even longer. So you might only have 3 months with the water or the food before it goes bad. So the future is making the product in these new ways, putting the ads just for you, and send it straight to your house, and you get rid of all of these warehouses and unnecessary stops in between. Each of those warehouses is heated or cooled. It wastes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of fuel to drive from warehouse to warehouse. And so we predict that this will cut a lot of the food waste out internationally.
And what are some stories from communities who lives have changed because of your free water?
So far, through the donations of the free waters, we've been able to build uh, water wells for people who don't have water in Kenya, India, and Pakistan. And I got to visit the water wells in Africa personally. And when you give somebody the gift of water, you give them the gift of life. Many of these people were walking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers to carry the water back to their house. And this water was not clear, it was black and polluted, you know, and there was no time for the children to go to school. But when you drill the water well, we like to build it in the school. So now all of a sudden the parents say, hey, please go to school and make sure you bring us back a bunch of water. So not only do you give them the gift of life, but people who had no time because their whole life was just to find the water and carry it home, now they have time to get an education. And so it's exponential change for some of these people. The possibilities become endless.
Yes, that's true. Water is life, especially in today's world. This is a huge problem, I think, in all over the world. How do you ensure transparency in donations and water well projects?
So I personally spent a lot of time investigating these nonprofits. And one of them, the one in Kenya, for example, they have a lifetime guarantee on their work. So I actually visited the water projects not when they built it, but 2 years later to make sure that everything was still functioning. In the future, we plan on creating a new type of open source software that's fully transparent, meaning there's no secrets. Every penny, every fraction of a penny will be accounted for.
How do you maintain your focus when your mission is so bold and long term?
That might be the most difficult part. You know, I have to always remind myself that the goal is more than a company. The goal is to change the world. And a lot of times that means less profit or money in my own pocket. For example, uh, when we distributed this free water, it was free and gave 10 cents to charity. Recently, these waters were free and donated 30 cents to charity. I want the donations to keep rising, right? And so, on one hand, if we gave less donations, it would allow me to earn a greater profit and to maybe grow the company in some ways faster. But on the other hand, we're trying to show the world what is possible. And I believe if we keep increasing the amount of money donated on top of the free water and free food, more people will be willing to give something to charity, such as the Free Pawnee team. At first, their waters didn't donate anything to charity. And they have an amazing founder, Abu Bakr. And I told him, hey, if you want me to help, you have to donate something to charity. So then he started. But then over time, I asked him to donate more because he was doing more and more volume. And he said, okay, you know. And so I think that it's difficult to maintain focus. Most important thing is you have to also focus on your personal health, your life, everything outside of work. And even though sometimes the worst situation could happen, somebody could cheat you or take money from you or lie to you. I think it's important to give people the opportunity to be honest and do the right thing. And and the more of us that work together and take that leap of faith to allow people to do the right thing, sometimes just with a handshake, I think the better this world will be. We all have to work together to create the world that we want to live in, regardless of what country you live in.
Thank you for your amazing answer. That's why I asked this question for my own learning too and for audience learning too. What's the biggest mindset shift humanity needs for a world of free essential goods?
I believe that the world of free and negatively priced, like better than free, will accelerate faster and faster and faster because AI and robots are taking all of the jobs. And I don't think governments are going to step in fast enough to provide the free water and free food for people. So I think it's up to the private and nonprofit sector to take the lead on this. Um, Now, the more AI and robotics that get involved in these industries, the cheaper it is to manufacture a bag of potatoes or a bag of rice or electricity, the easier it is to make it free by putting the advertisement on it, if that makes sense. Just like in Pakistan, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Instagram. Yes, those are digital apps, but YouTube has many buildings, many computers, many people operating these systems, all paid for by the ads, right? And so I think it'll be the combination of a few things. These ideas becoming more mainstream, number one, people understanding it. And that's why instead of patenting it, we made the new book so everyone could take all of the secrets. And then number two, AI and robotics will unfortunately take a lot of jobs, and they already have. And, and then people will step in to innovate, to help people. And then eventually, when AI and robots have taken more and more jobs, the price is just so cheap, you can make it free very easily.
How do you plan to make free water movement global, like in Pakistan, India, Africa?
Well, it already is becoming global. It's just instead of franchising it and then patenting it and owning everything, we made it open source, which is the opposite of a patent. And that's how we were able to help the Free Pawnee team. And so now there might be 1,000 different free water projects worldwide, all different companies. Um, Many will fail, and that's like all business, and some will succeed. And by doing it open source and by I made more mistakes than anybody, so by explaining to the world all the mistakes that we made, hopefully the next people don't have to make any of those mistakes. And it's a movement, it's not a company, it's a movement, and it already is growing worldwide.
What has been your most emotional or life changing moment during this journey?
There's been so many because um, when I started 10 years ago, I didn't even know how to type or use a computer very well. So I had to teach myself the basics of a computer before I knew anything about software development or anything else. I knew nothing about social media, so I started at zero. Now we have more than 1 million followers. I didn't know anything about making water or food, so I started at zero. I didn't know anything about advertising, so I had to start at zero and overcome all of these challenges to prove that this was possible. So every one of those moments were special moments, but I think the most special moments were when I went and visited the first water wells in Africa because I got to see, okay, the vision works. Like I had this idea, it took a long time. We gave away the free water, it built the water wells. I visited the water wells, and it's a real thing. Another big moment was actually in Pakistan because earlier this year when I visited Pakistan, I was 50% 50% whether or not I should file for a bunch of patents in the near future. And these patents would give me global control of these ideas. Um, I only gave the Free Pawnee founder a little bit of help, but because he already owned a bunch of businesses in Lahore, he was able to do about 1 million free bottles of water the first year. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I can't patent any of these things. I need to make it more freely available, this information. So it was a very nice moment because everyone laughed at me early on, said, "You'll never make a free supermarket. It's impossible." Then I did the first free product, free water. They said, "Okay, maybe you can do drinks, but you could never do free pizza. And this could only work in the United States. This will never work in a country that's not as rich as the United States." And me seeing how well it was working in Lahore, Pakistan, was a very big moment because I was like, okay, it truly can work anywhere, and it felt very good.
Your mission is amazing, and I think it will be work in every country. It will take time. How can ordinary people join your movement or contribute today?
Um, Firstly, if possible, read the new book, How to Make a Free Product Company. It's on Amazon as an ebook. Anybody can get the ebook worldwide. And it took a long time for me to write this book because we wrote it in a way that anybody could take the book, read it, and understand it. Um, if you saw the earlier book that I gave a copy to the Free Pawnee founder, it was written in a way that you needed to almost be a scientist to understand it, and that was a big problem. And so, get the book, understand these new concepts, and then after reading the book, if you have any questions or need help making a project, please message me personally on LinkedIn, and I would love to help you any way I can.
Thank you so much. And if every human on earth got one message from you, what would it be?
Everything is possible if you believe that it is, and that we all need to work together to create the world that we want to live in. Not the country we want to, like the world, you know.
Yes. We will must work together, then we create big impact, and we want a better world that everyone I think want.
100%.
But I think yes, but we will not take action. We only say things, but mostly people
I think saying
won't take
things and
action.
thinking things is the
Yes.
start. And if you say it and think it enough times,
Yes.
eventually you'll
Yes.
take action. You know, taking action is very scary,
Yes.
but
Yes.
as more and more people do scary
People.
things, it becomes less and less
Yes.
scary.
Life is not a smooth road. Life is a part of ups and downs, and this is fact. Do you believe one idea can truly change the world?
I do. And that's why I do this. I work on this project, and it's, you know, it's a lifelong project. Um,
Yes,
and
true.
but even if you have the best idea in the world, it's hard to make it work without having people to help you. You need
That's
people, you know. And so there's been plenty of
yes,
people
yes.
with amazing ideas, and it didn't work because the world didn't help them to do it. And so I think that any good idea can change the world.
But what do you want your
No, go, go.
yes? What do you want your legacy to be 50 years from now?
That is a tough question. I really don't care, to be honest. I know a lot of people care about this, and that's their motivation. I would prefer that Coca-Cola and Pepsi and the world's biggest companies copy today, and they do all these things, and then I can enjoy other parts of my life again. I I think that a lot of people care more about their future legacy than enjoying their life every day. And I just want to be happy every day. I want to be healthy every day. And if there's a legacy, great. If there's no legacy, also good. I just want to help people and help the environment.
Thank you so much for your precious time. Please, could you please give any short last advice to all our audience?
I met a lot of people in Pakistan who told me that things were more difficult in Pakistan because it's Pakistan. Now, me visiting Pakistan, I will argue the opposite. I think that it's more, it would be easier for someone, with the right knowledge to do these things in Pakistan. Not just these things, but many great things in Pakistan. But you have to take that leap of faith, and you have to be willing to fail over and over and over again. Most people don't even try one time because they're scared to fail. And then some people try once and then they fail and then they quit. I have failed with this project no less than 1,000 times, and I'll have to fail a million more times. So you have to be okay with failure, and it shouldn't be looked at as failure. It should be looked at as an attempt. Like, I tried one time, it didn't work. I tried two times, three times, four times, 100 times, 200 times. Every time you get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer. So you have to start. And there's never a perfect time to start. Just start now. Fail, fail now. Just keep going, and that's it.
From you. I have also faced failure many times in life, but I am 100% agree with you. We learn more from our failures than our success.
Mhm.
And I think this energy and power will move forward to pursue our goals. Thank you so much again. Take care of yourself. I will take,
My pleasure.
I took 2 minutes more because our session is 30 minutes, but there is 32 minutes, 31 seconds. Thank you so much.
No problem. And thank you
And I
so
would
much
like
for having me
to
on.
invite, I would like to invite you, if you don't mind, I would like to invite you in some other session, some other time again, because I have learned a lot from you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Take care.